Hey everyone, welcome back. So Christmas is right around the corner, and I thought, what better time than now to discuss the 5.5 guitars that are on my wish list. Like, if I was written a massive check for Christmas and I could pick 5.5 guitars, these would be the ones that I would get. So let's get right into this. Before we begin though, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, GTHIC. GTHIC is a jewelry company that sells quality rings, necklaces, and other apparel with really interesting designs on them. They offer a very diverse range of designs that covers a wide variety of themes, including ancient Egyptian, Viking, medieval, and even pirate designs. These rings are also made out of stainless steel, which is a material that's very well known for its durability and lasting the test of time. I strongly encourage you to go check out their selection. The link is in the description below. You might just find a ring or a necklace on there that really speaks to you. And here's the best part. By entering the promo code Dillon20 at checkout, you can save 20% off your order, and you'll be directly helping this channel grow, so I can better afford to bring you more exciting and higher quality content. And right now, the cherry on top of this whole cake is that they're also having a Christmas sale too. Just enter the code MASS23 for 23% off their Christmas selection, or MASS20 for many of their other products on their store. So if you're looking to pimp out your fingers this holiday season, click the link in the description below and check out what GTHIC has to offer. And now we move on to the rest of the video. So number one is probably the most financially feasible for me right now. This is the Sterling Music Man Valentine. As someone who's primarily played on a Telecaster for the longest time, this is a guitar that has been firmly on my radar for quite a while. In that regard, the Valentine looks like it would be right up my alley. The Valentine really has that Telecaster feel that I have always been interested in. Probably the most interesting feature on that guitar though for me is that slanted single coil bridge pickup that kind of looks like a slanted P90. I bet that thing sounds very unique. And I've always wondered, if I swapped out the neck pickup for a Fat Cat P90, would I get that Telecaster on steroids vibe? That is a question that has been on my mind for quite some time now. And part of the reason why I want that guitar so bad, I guess, is just pure curiosity as to how that would sound. That might actually make for a good video one of these days. Who knows? So if you've been following my channel for a while now, number two might not come as a surprise. This is the PRS CE24. I have always wanted one of these. This is one of PRS's American-made models that is geared more towards the working musician. It's a little more budget-friendly with the bolt-on neck, but it feels so much better than most gloss necks out there. I actually got to try one in my local hawk shop a little while ago. It was an early 90s CE24. I talked about it in one of my previous videos. It played so well despite how roughed up it was. This has been one of my dream guitars for years. Now my wish is kind of half granted for now with the SE CE24 that was just released, but I would love to get my hands on the real thing one of these days. And moving on to number three, we have the ESP E2 Eclipse 7-string with an Evertune. I'm not normally a 7-string player, but this one is just f***ing gorgeous. Especially with that all satin finish, that thing must be an absolute dream to play. I mean, it better be for that price. What sets this one apart from other 7-strings that I've tried in the past is the 25.5-inch scale length, which I imagine would make playing leads a little more comfortable, especially since I'm primarily a lead player. I don't know how helpful the Evertune's going to be in that regard with all the bends going on, but I would have so much fun chugging on that thing. Like, if I could pick any 7-string right now to be the one 7-string I ever own, it would probably be that one. For number four, we have the Rivolta Mondata 8. When I was looking around for a proper backup guitar for my main PRS, the Rivolta line was a really strong contender. And it's mainly because they have 24 frets, a 25-inch scale length, and that chunky neck profile that I really like. But then I came across the Mondata 8 and I was like, holy shit, this must be an extremely versatile studio instrument. Like, I'm just imagining this thing being the Swiss Army knife of guitars. And that 3 mini humbucker layout just looks so cool. And I imagine it could cover so much ground in a studio. That one would be a gorgeous addition to my collection one of these days. If they're still making that model by the time I can afford it, that is. Now, the only time I've ever seen a Rivolta in person was this one punk band was playing I think it was a combinata with a single P90 in the bridge. I was talking to the guitarist about that guitar after the show, and he said it is the best guitar he's ever played. He had nothing but good things to say about it. So that kind of makes me even more excited to try a Rivolta. Now, it's probably a rare chance that I'm gonna find one in this neck of the woods, but you never know, I might find one used at a hawk shop somewhere. We'll see. And coming in at number 5, we have the Gibson Adam Jones Les Paul Standard. I got to try one of these recently in my local Long & McQuaid, and it is probably the nicest Les Paul that I've ever tried in my life. The tonal versatility I was getting out of it was like right on par with the Les Paul Custom line. But then again, that guitar was designed after a 79 Les Paul Custom, so that shouldn't really come as a shock. Two other things I really appreciate about that guitar is the chunkier neck profile and the ebony fretboard, which just feels so amazing in my hand. Like, I can't even think of any other Les Paul, even in the custom line, that could match that kind of feel. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have asked them about their financing options, but oh well. What can you do? Now you're probably wondering why I said 5.5 guitars. Well, that's because number 5.5 is the Fender Bass VI. It is neither guitar nor bass. It is the perfect instrument for the strictly agnostic household. And it would also be the perfect instrument for me to just, like, write so much that I can't on a guitar or a bass. Like, I could probably just sit there and just explore what kind of songs I could write on that thing, because it is a very underutilized instrument, apparently. And I used to play a lot of stoner metal back in the day, so I can only imagine what the Fender Bass VI is capable of in that regard. I feel like the songwriting possibilities with one of those are endless, and I would love to get my hands on one just to explore what kind of songs I could write. But currently I'm trying to be financially responsible, so I can only imagine for now. Well, there you have it. Those are the 5.5 guitars on my wish list. Why don't you share your wish list in the comment section below? And while you're at it, why don't you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon.